Well, first of all, thanks for having me. These guys used to help me with my filming back in the day at Lust. And that's just an example of, when you're starting out, use everything you can. I used to drag these guys down to, do some filming for me. And now it's come back to, myself being here. So, who am I? So I'm a fitness entrepreneur for mostly. And I have my own fitness brand that I'm going to tell you about. I'm also a content manager at a fitness brand called Pull Up Mate, who are fitness equipment. I manage their community, and an online coach. So I currently have 3 revenue streams, which is quite a lot to balance. Maybe, I could talk about that and that would be some value. All right, so what am I all about? So I'm about inspiring people to feel good. If I go back to here, being a fitness entrepreneur, that's all about, and that brand is about helping students get into fitness and feel good. I'm about investing in yourself. If you guys are starting out and you're trying to move forward, investing in yourself might not be, just courses. It might be experiences. It might be bad business ventures. Just because a business venture goes downhill doesn't mean it wasn't a good investment in yourself. I'm all about that. Always showing up, that's a major thing. Again, for people starting out, you might not have the plan spot on. You might not have everything lined up how you want it. You might not be prepared for this meeting. But if you always show up, things are gonna move forward. And I find that's something that's helped me get where I am. And then finally, chasing your passion. If we go back to the pillars in what was the circle called? Ikigai. Passion's a massive thing, and if you've got that, that's going to help you, push on forward. And I've chosen this photo here just because, not because I want to show you all my pectorals, but because this is me investing in myself, putting in training, working on my personal brand, trying to be a role model for what I am. And if you think about what industry you're in or what you're trying to move into, are you investing in your own expertise in that area? Is yourself as a personal brand in that area? Okay, your business is its own operational thing, but you are your business initially. People invest in people. They don't necessarily invest in the brand. If you ever go and sit down with an investor, okay, and you give them a 10-page, 100-page plan, they're going to skim it, but most of all, they're going to look at you and they're going to say, is this person what they say they are? They might not even read your investment plan, but those people who are experienced, they know by the person. So if you're always investing in yourself, improving yourself, practicing what you preach, that's going to take you a very long way without you even realizing. So these are my brands, David Bissell. So I have davidbissell.com, where I sell online coaching. My tagline for that is ambition, passion, and results. Being ambitious, wanting to achieve something, being passionate about it, and getting the results too. I run MASS, which is a university society for bodybuilding and fitness. It's a community at 20 universities at the moment. Members are around 500 nationally, and we run kind of events, competitions, have a clothing brand, sponsors, and then I'm also a content manager for Pull Up Mate, and I create their training plans and other things. Like you see down there, that's Pull Up Mate X, our training plan. Sorry, just a moment. So here I wanted to talk about something that's kind of important at the beginning, and that is how do you find your niche and what do you decide to focus on, which kind of goes back to, okay, what are you passionate about? For me, I was just really into fitness, doing my training, taking care of myself, and inquiries came in for these services on that top line, and so davidbissell.com was created. That middle thing I did socially, that was created. So for me, it was more, I found a passion. And that got me number 1 just from the passion. And number 2, it was a niche. No one was doing it. And I also had the passion. Number 3, that was just a connection. So, I knew the guy because I was going to events. I was putting myself out there and I was meeting people. So your niche, it can be something that you're passionate about. It can be someone there's no harm in getting a leg up because you know someone. Do you have a family friend, a close connection that, for example, your niche could be you're going into, you know, an industry, okay, but actually you know someone who can get you a certain supply at a much lower rate than the rest of the competitors. Okay, actually you're in for a business. So take a step back and say, okay, do you have a passion that's strong enough to, you know, go into, or do you have a connection that's going to get you an up in some way, or maybe you've got kind of an idea that is, you know, completely unique, you know, a brand. So it's not always going to be a passion. I find that there's lots of different ways that you can go in on your niche. So yeah, think about what you have, what advantages you have, location, geographic, connections, passion, and if you haven't found, let's have a show of hands. Who has an idea? Most people have an idea, so that means some people don't have an idea. So you guys take a step back and have a think about, yeah, about those different things. And then initially also, okay, you've got your niche or you've got a potential product. How do you test that out, and how do you find out if it works? And I think that goes back to what I was saying at the beginning about just showing up. I was getting inquiries coming in for David Bissell, can you do a training plan? I didn't then say, no, I can't, it's not ready yet or something. I just thought, okay, they want a training plan. Google online training plans, how much are people selling online training plans for? Okay, they're selling them for this much. Great, okay, yeah, I can do a training plan and it's, you know, $49.99. Wait. They say, yeah, okay, cool, how do I pay? And I'm like, oh my God. These are my bank details. And then before you know it, you know, you've kind of got a business. So that's how things can start out. So it's about just kind of putting something out there. It goes back to you know, the minimum viable product, for example. A lot of people, before they start something out, they think they've got an idea in their head of what they think it's supposed to be, and they almost want to make it that perfect thing before they even put it out. When really you don't actually know if that's even what the person wants. There's lots of companies out there that will sell membership to a membership zone before there's even any content in it. They'll sell the membership to the membership zone, the people will sign up, they'll pay their money, and when they're signing up, they also fill in a form that says kind of what they want to learn about. All of a sudden, they've now got the money, you know, to create the content and the product. So I think, you know, when testing out your service, you know, just sell, and then figure it out kind of after, at the beginning. Obviously, make your product perfect, but don't spend too long, you know, perfecting it. I would say, yeah, testing it out is just about getting it out there, getting it in people's hands. And if you need to offer your service for free at the beginning to get testimonials or other things like that, then yeah, go ahead and do it. And investing in yourself, you know, you get those testimonials in. If it's sales you're not sure of, you know, do some sales courses and other things. You know, I used to be a personal trainer at Gymbox in London, freelance, and did a really good course before I started that called Blast, which was business leadership and sales training, and that got me a system for selling my product. And that goes back to, as well, going off on a complete tangent here, the point about kind of milestones. What's your next milestone? Is it a number of things? Is it learning more about sales? Yeah. Okay, so building and growing an engaged community. So now, I mean, just, you know, we're talking about products here, and, you know, what's going to be a good product, okay? There's loads of brands that are really, really good. The product's not amazing, but because the brand is so strong, you know, the product sells. Think of lots of designer clothing that's selling for how much, but isn't really that much better than stuff that's, you know, a tenth of the price. If you can create a strong brand with an engaged community, then that's going to really help you. So the first question you want to ask is, and for people who have got an idea, you want to be thinking, who is your audience and what value can they offer them? You know, what do they want? And then choose your platforms intentionally. Okay, so you know what value you're going to offer. You've now got that internal focus. You know, we've got accountants here. What platforms are accountants using? They're going to be on LinkedIn if they're a working professional anyway, so for the bigger scope of the brand, that's where you might be, looking if you want to find them. But I mean, I'm not an accountant. I think your last guy that gave a talk was an accountant. If he was in here, he could advise. But yeah, that's thinking about, so you want to go away and you want to speak to this niche, see where they are. Are they on Instagram more? Are they on Facebook more? Are they people that want to get in Facebook groups initially? Or longer term down the line, when you're growing that engaged community, that's going to think about where you're going to engage them. You might get them in a Facebook group first where they can get chatting, but thereafter, are you going to bring them into, some sort of more deeper online membership zone where they can get these stats and things and verifications for if they, contribute a certain amount of times. But yeah, choosing platforms properly. So for me, for students in the university brand, they're on Facebook and they're on Instagram. That's where they are. We know that. We're not trying to push anything else that much more. The Snapchat, some of them are on that, but Snapchat's discovery is a lot lower than things like Instagram. So that's where we are. We're not on LinkedIn at all, really, because students are only kind of getting on there in their third year, and they're not going on there for us. They're not going on there for kind of fitness. So think about where your people hang out, and don't waste time where they're not hanging out. Everybody, with all the platforms these days, a lot of people try and launch to say, I'm going to do YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, MailChimp, and they do little bits of all of them, but don't really. You're laughing down here. Is this you?
No. There's a common mistake.
Yeah, it's a common mistake. So really narrow it down and pick one to focus on where they are and grow it there. Okay. So how does this transfer into my brands? Okay, so David Bissell, if I go back to kind of what's my strong kind of value advice that I'm offering for people to come in. So davidbissell.com, I'm offering transformations. That's example. That's, people can see what other people are achieving. I'm offering workout tips and exercises. And then if I go back to as well, how do I offer strong value to build that community? Okay, if they submit me a before picture and submit me an after picture, they get 20% off their next plan. Okay, so they're feeling a part of something because they've then submitted their after picture, and it's then driving the next sale as well, and I'm getting marketing material out of it. So rather than paying to do something, I'm just giving a discount, which is still creating me profit. I'm just giving a discount to then get my marketing material kind of back, which goes a bit back to kind of building the marketing into the product. That's my way of building the marketing into the product. People look for fitness on aspirational platforms, so they're on kind of YouTube and Instagram, and that's where we are. And in terms of my focus, I've really narrowed that down to a few products. So I've got a product that focuses specifically on beginners, the 12-week transformation that you're seeing here. I've got a product that focuses on more in-depth, contest prep, and then one for my kind of general person. I will say different things to relate to the different person. I'm not going to try and sell somebody who just wants to get a bit more in shape and get a bit healthier. I'm not going to say to them, okay, we're going to get you doing cardio this many times a day and you're going to get real shredded, man. You're going to have huge pecs. I'm not going to say that to them. I'm just going to say in that marketing, transform your life, feel a bit healthier and better for your holiday. So think about the language, and that's my language that I'm using when I'm focusing down on that person. And I've got my platforms there. And then if I go on to Pull Up Mate, it's tips and exercises. It's attention grabbing, and it's also customer content. If I go back to that offer strong value, for Pull Up Mate, the value is getting a repost. People are doing home workouts at home. There's not much going on there. It's you at home. It's a bit boring. You might go to the gym, you're social, you're seeing people, but at home, you're really not. You come and buy a Pull Up Mate, all of a sudden, we're reposting 10 stories a day when people are tagging us using their Pull Up Mate at home. You've now got motivation. You can see other people kind of doing it. And that's our kind of strong value offering for that community. And In terms of the focus, I think as well, you know, we're talking a lot about communities here, and that's what I was asked to speak about, but it's also thinking about what type of product is your product. Is your product a repeat purchase product? The comic books, that's repeat purchase. They want to keep them purchasing every month. The pull-up bar, once you've got it, you've pretty much got it. So actually, a lot of our marketing is just attention grabbing. What can we do that gets people in and gets them seeing it? So we might just post videos of hot girls on the pull-up bar because guys actually stop scrolling, you know? So, you know, we do a lot of, we maybe put about $100 a day into Facebook advertising, and the highest click videos with the best kind of watch view aren't the tips and instructions, they're the hot girls on the pull-up bar. But it's a 95% male audience that are buying these. And think about those feeds on Facebook. They're just scrolling through loads of rubbish. What gets them stopping? The thing that grabs their eye. We've grabbed their eye. They've looked at that, and now they're like, oh, what's she on? A pull-up bar? Oh, man, if I want to get her, I better get one of these. Okay? So, you know, okay, a community is important, but also think about what your product is. Is it a repeat purchase product, or is it not? Is it a recommendations product? You know, how do people going about buying your product? Is it spur of the moment? Pull-up makes spur of the moment. David Bissell is a bit of nurturing. It's a recommendation, or it's they've seen some tips. Okay, this guy knows what he's doing. Then they see a transformation, and then they're like, okay, and he gets results for other people. Okay, now I'll message him. So it's a bit more of a different pipeline there. And then, yeah, the student brand. So that's about getting inside the head of your person and what they want to do. You know, if I'm trying to sell to the students, what I'm trying to give them is a way to be fitter and healthier, but I might grab their attention with just a student joke or something along those lines. The bottom one's really a brand. You know, that's a brand that's aspirational type content. That's the type of thing where, you know, that's like a Prada maybe. The middle one, that's, you know, a gimmick, that's tension grabbing. The top one, that's, you know, that's a service. People need to see the results and the value. So I've touched on mine quite a bit there. And now we've spoken from a few people. Have we got time?
We're running short.
We're running short. Okay. So I'll wrap it up there then, because everybody's already spoken a bit. Hope that was valuable. Thanks very much for listening.